Hello, family and friends. Here we are in Miss Christine's yoga studio. I'm in very cramped quarters today because we are Christmas decorating, painting the room, and starting to look at finishing our floors. So we are in a tight space. We will get it done. We have Miss Chloe over here whose bed has moved. Miss Yogi's there in the back. And Indy is over there in the corner too. So we're all here to talk about monkey pose today. Monkey pose is a pose that we use when we get out of forward fold. And we use it coming up halfway from a forward fold and then move it back down. It is a fairly intense move and it utilizes the flat back. It is utilized wherever we use a forward fold, and so that means we can use it from the warm-up in a yoga session to the cool-down in a yoga session. It can be used in any part of a yoga session. The flat back I want to talk about a little bit. It can be used in many different poses of a yoga practice. For example, when we are in mountain pose, we're in flat back. We're just standing upright in flat back. When we're in plank, we're down on the floor in a push-up position with a flat back. Cat-cow uses a flat back. So there's many different asanas that uses the flat back. It can also be used in other disciplines such as Pilates, and I'm sure there are sports venues, that use it too. I think I see it in skiing when they're leaning a little bit forward before they go downhill. They're very much in a flat back. So it is a multidisciplinary function. And what are its benefits? What's the monkey's benefits? Well, it is a very good stretch for your legs, but its biggest benefit is core and back strength. And why is that? Because when we come down to monkey and we're facing the floor, looking down, we are fighting gravity. Gravity is pulling us down and we're fighting that. And that's what builds our strength. So today, we're going to start in mountain pose. I'm going to go down to a forward fold. I'm going to come up to a monkey. And then we're going to go back down to forward fold and come all the way back up to mountain. The things that I want to bring up about monkey is we are going to generously flex our knees, engage our core by pulling in that navel real tightly. We're going to have our hands on our hips to help us keep our shoulder blades kissed together. And we're going to keep our neck long and straight, looking straight down. Those should be the things that we should think about. Those are what we should take inventory on when we're in monkey pose. So let's get started. I have a couple blocks here. When I go down to forward fold, you can use blocks for your hands, or you can put your hands on the floor. Or you can also hold on to your elbows and put your head between your arms. Your choice. But I kept them here, and maybe I might see if I need to use them. Okay. Get into your best mountain pose. All the energy up. Pull that navel in. Keep your knees soft. Shoulders down and back, and take your arms up all the way to the sky. We are going to do a reverse swan, hinging from our hips, because we're going to be moving with a flat back. Remember, it's going to be like a windshield wiper. Head over heart, over pelvis. Neutral spine, or flat back. Here we go. From your hips, swan dive, take your arms out to the side. Exhale, you took an inhale at the top, exhale down, and all the way down. Here's where you can use your blocks. Now, we are going to come up halfway to monkey pose. Put your hands on your hips and come up, starting with your head reaching out and our sternum coming out, and come up halfway. Generously bend your knees as much as you need to maintain a flat back. This isn't a race to get your legs as straight as possible. Generously bend them. Kiss your shoulder blades together. Engage that belly button. Keep that belly button sucked in. Head straight out and looking down. Inhale and exhale, come back down to forward fold. Come back up halfway, hands on hips, inhale. Engage your core. Knees are flexed, shoulder blades kissing. Pull those shoulder blades back. Head forward. Inhale, exhale down. This time, inhale and come all the way back up with a flat back as much as you can. All the way back up to mountain and Anjali Mudra. There we go. It can get intense. Sometimes your teacher will have you stay in that monkey pose for several breaths. Sometimes she won't or he won't at all. Just depends. Now, there are a couple things you have to think about. Misalignments. If you collapse your core, I want you to look at my shoulders. See how my shoulders are back? If I move them forward, see how I collapse my core? You want to keep them back. You don't want to hyperextend those knees. You want to bend them. So you want to remember to pull that back and keep your core engaged. When you come down to forward fold, you want to bend from your hips. If you bend from your waist, you don't get a flat back. So you want to bend from your hips. That hip joint, that's your hinge, like a door. And also, when you're coming down to forward fold, this isn't monkey, but it is forward fold. You want to make sure that you bring your arms out and don't come forward with your arms. Do an airplane. There. Now, there are several things you can do with your hands that are different. Some people get down into monkey and they want you to put your hands on your shins. But I notice that when I do that, I start to collapse. So I like to put my hands on my hips, because then I pull my shoulders back and my back flattens out. So some people will do this. Some people will stay like this. But I think for our purposes right now, we need to leave them on our hips. Also, you can do this in a chair. And again, I'm not a chair person yet, so I don't really recommend that, because I think there's some ways of really collapsing in a chair. I'm trying to remember. I think I've got them all. But I'm going to give you some tips. I would do this in front of a mirror because you will really surprise yourself. I've often surprised myself when I look in a mirror and I'm not quite in that flat back. I'll have this going on. So use a mirror. Again, keep your hands on your hips so that it reminds you to pull back your shoulders, which will flatten your back. Another tip is to take your hands and to place them on your thighs and push on your thighs. That is almost as good as putting them on your hips and pulling your shoulders back. That will remind you to pull your shoulders back. So those are the things that you need to think about. Next video will be a variation of monkey using your arms. I didn't really want to do it this time because I think it's just enough for you to think about putting your hands on your hips, but it will be an airplane version of monkey. Okay. Life has no limitations except the ones that you make. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Stay distant. We're all in this together. Namaste. Thank you.